All right, I always mess up the beginning of these, so it'll be.
Oh, well, wait till you see me.
Today we are joined by our executive director, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin, and he has some very important, very exciting news to share with us. So I'm just going to give you the floor so you can kind of tell the people what's happening.
Sure, absolutely. It's exciting times inside the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. A lot of initiatives ongoing, a lot of projects in the works, and in the middle of all that, our staff have worked over the last few months to update our core values. First time since the inception of the core values 10 years ago. And so put a lot of thought into the direction the agency is heading in corrections, and of course the evolution of corrections, and where an agency should stand, and how we serve both those that are incarcerated and those that are employed here, and the core values that we stand for.
What were the old core values, and what are the new ones?
The core values that we've stood for many years that are still very important to what we do as a professional agency are commitment, courage, integrity, and perseverance. And the revamp and the refreshing of our core values and where we're at today, again, those are very important, but today we're moving to a core values that actually spell out the acronym HEART, stand for honor, empathy, accountability, respect, and trust. The reason for the change and refresh of our core values to heart is that in the world of corrections today, it is still absolutely about public safety, assisting victims of crime, rehabilitation, reintegration, but it's also about serving with respect, in respect of those that are incarcerated, and also the respect of our staff, our 34,000 employees, our 143,000 men and women that are incarcerated, the 77,000 clients that are on active parole supervision, the respect that they are in a place in their life where we have to provide them hope, be empathetic, of course, all while still protecting the state of Texas, all while still having a structure of rehabilitation, a structure of accountability, and just overall structure of mutual respect.
Of course, everybody knows you as our executive director, but I want to touch on your background just a little bit. So how long have you been with the agency?
I've been here with the agency, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, since November of 1990.
Okay, and have you noticed the agency change? And then, and how do our new core values align with that?
Probably in my mind at the time, the two most important things were clearing count, and if 25 officers, if we came to work together, that 25 went home safely. And those are still very important, but there's so much more that I've learned in 3+ decades, and I've learned from mentors, I've learned from coworkers, from peers, that it's about much more than that. And so as my career has progressed, and many other here at the agency, you see the bigger picture, and that it's about more than just clearing count, and it's our responsibility to protect the state of Texas. But what goes into that also is what goes into the rehabilitation, providing structure, providing opportunities for the men and women here to learn soft skills and hard skills. And 95% of the men and women here are going home one day, or those that won't go home for a while, that we're still providing them hope, that we're still having a mutual respect, and that the state of Texas is entrusting us, and that we build the credibility to carry out what we're expected to do in providing for the state of Texas.
These core values, they are very different to the ones we had before. So do you see this as who the agency is today or who we aspire to be?
I see it both. I see it as who we are today, and I will say that I've seen these core values who we have been for some time now. It's not that we're just turning on a switch in the next couple of weeks and cutting off 4 core values and go, all right, let's all do heart now. We absolutely, as an agency, the largest United States state correctional system in America, and a premier professional criminal justice organization, we do have strong credibility, and we still do have strong folks that serve with honor, but it's not putting anything or any of those core values on cruise control. It's continuing to build upon those that we've already been building that foundation. And so what better time to refresh our core values and continue to move the agency forward.
So let me change up my question then, because I was going to ask how staff can show these, but let me ask, how can staff continue to show these core values?
There's many different ways staff can utilize these core values in the day-to-day responsibilities as a TDCJ employee. One, the men and women that are incarcerated here at TDCJ. I can speak personally that as walking a facility this morning and speaking with staff and speaking with men and women that were located at one of our hospital facilities. One is that how we interact with an individual it goes a long ways. We have I personally can say that I've had family incarcerated in the system previous years back, but I've also had family members that lost their life and were victims of crime. And so even though I have that just personally on a personal level, I still would want us treating the men and women here at TDCJ the same as we'd want a fellow classmate treated that may have had an issue in life where they became a convicted felon, had to come and serve time, whether how they'd want their family member treated and interacted with if they were here.
So do you feel that these values contradict our security operations?
Having empathy, having the respect and trust does not take away from our security practices. It does not take away from our responsibility in what we do to protect the state of Texas. We can have a very respectful conversation or even provide respectful instruction to someone that's incarcerated and refer to them as sir or ma'am. That does not belittle our security operations. That's about being a professional organization, and that's about just human interaction. And just would add that officers can set those firm boundaries, firm guardrails, and still have a strong security sense of how we carry out public safety, but in a respectful manner.
I'm gonna give you props again, because that was when I read that question, I was like, all right, let's see how he answers this.
But again, a large amount of our population is trying to do the right thing, and there's some that aren't, and that's why we do what we do in providing resources to our staff, to our treatment staff, on how we can enrich the lives of the men and women that are incarcerated, to get them ready to go home one day and stay home and take care of their families, while at the same time being professional about it, and having that strong security guardrails and boundaries, but at the same time getting somebody to the point of being better than when they came in.
What is your message to people out there who are saying that we're being too friendly, that we've changed?
Mm-hmm. No, my message would be is that it's not about being friendly. It's about being professional, and we are a professional organization. We are a professional criminal justice agency, and that didn't start overnight. That didn't start in the past year. We do have times where we do not meet that threshold of professionalism, and that's where I talked about earlier about accountability and being transparent. But still, at the end of the day, we are a professional organization. The instituting of HEART takes away nothing of our credibility, going back to credibility of being a strong, firm, but respectful correctional officer or correctional staff member, or whether it be unit administration, whether it be our agency have a lot of staff that travel to units to do audits, to do reviews, to do visits, and each of us carrying ourselves in a respectful manner is not in any way is not conflicting with being a strong having a strong correctional command presence in what we do day in day out. It's just about doing it professionally, and doing it with one, if it's dealing with our employees, our most precious resource, that it's being the supervisor that we always wanted is how our employees should feel, and that's how we should carry ourselves as a supervisor. And then with the men and women that are incarcerated, it's again that we're tasked with being part of their lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while they're here at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And again, I go back again to say we're not the judge and the jury. They've been sentenced. It is about enriching their lives, providing them direction, providing them instruction, providing them feedback, and structure on how they carry themselves each and every day, and doing that with many of the professionals that help support our operations across the agency.
Phenomenal. All right, so we always end off with some quick rapid fire questions. You ready?
Ready.
All right. What's your favorite thing about TDCJ?
Just getting to see our folks in action, and getting to see our staff. Again, last few days I've been able to spend time out on some facilities with staff, and getting to see their work, and not to go out, and not that it's about going out and seeing them and making sure they're following or not following policy. Because again, I talk about we're a professional organization, and seeing the jobs that they're carrying out day in, day out, seeing the positive change in men and women that are incarcerated here at the agency, and having several years with the agency, I've got to see a lot of success stories of individuals that have been broken when they came in, and we as an agency and with our Wyndham School District, our rehabilitation, chaplaincy, have provided them hope, and you can see it in the change and how they carry themselves just in their day to day. So that's very rewarding.
What's your favorite thing to order from commissary?
Favorite thing to order from commissary? We're not a comb, or a brush. Favorite thing to order from from the commissary, I guess would be Bluebell, of course. Bluebell's a go-to, but of course some sort of snack. The candies that are provided, of course, the healthy options that are provided too. Cool. So leave it at that. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah.
Favorite memory working for TDCJ?
Oh gosh, so many. Some of the favorite memories are, it's actually some of the favorite memories were during trying times, and so I'm very respectful when I say favorite, but the trying times and challenges we had during COVID or during a natural disaster, and watching our team come together to deal with that. Again, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We don't have natural disasters every day. We certainly don't have pandemics. And so when those times do come, just watching our staff step up all over at the administrative level, at the unit level, our divisions such as manufacturing, agribusiness, logistics of what they do during natural disasters, our facilities team, our IT team, HR, and so those are some of my favorite times, or the accomplishments we've done successfully when meeting challenges head on. Stand out, and of course, unfortunately, some of those are sad times too, depending on what we're faced with. But watching our team, the resiliency of our staff, and meeting those challenges, because some of those challenges aren't a flash in the pan, a one-day thing. They're a long duration, but watch our team come together and do that are some of the most fond memories.
What do you wish people knew about the agency?
What I want them to know that we're inside, not just protecting the perimeter of the facility, but protecting the state of Texas because of our strong programs, our strong care of the men and women that are here, and that we do care about their loved one, and we're doing everything we can to provide opportunities for them to enrich their lives, for they can go home one day. And if their loved one is here and not going home for a while, that we still are taking care of them and provide them a safe place to be. And all that while dealing with many challenges that come upon the correctional system, but all with our awesome staff that just every day, while some or many across Texas are going to bed every night, still hundreds and hundreds of our staff that are protecting the state of Texas and protecting their loved ones.
That's it.
All
We're
right.
good.
All
We're
right.
done. Perfect. Thanks, sir.
Well, thank y'all.